Welcome to my 2025 Week 1 Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup preview and predictions. What's up, my Falcon family, my Dirty Bird Nation? You already know what it is. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, the show built for the fans, by the fans. You're the heartbeat of the Dirty Birds faithful, where my fellow Fandemics never waver and the passion never dies. I'm your host, the Falconologist, Manuel McFarland, the true and trusted voice for the diehard Falcon fans who live and breathe this team. Guys, we're going to kick off this NFC South matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. The stage is set, but a lot of people are not entirely optimistic about this game. I'm not understanding why, but hey, we travel to take on Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their hometown. Like I said, the stage is set for a highly competitive divisional race, especially with the Falcons unveiling their new look offense, as well as the defense. The previous 4 matchups between these two teams have been decided by a single score, so expect another nail biter. One thing I'm not optimistic about is the fact that we're going to sweep Tampa Bay again this year. Not saying that it's not impossible, but Tampa Bay is a very stout team and built very well. I just don't think that we're going to sweep them and win 4 games against them. I'm very optimistic. I mean, it's still a good storyline for the Falcons to go in and win 3 games, and finally in that 4th game, Tampa Bay figure out what they need to do to pull out a win against Atlanta. It's still not a bad storyline, guys. We still own Tampa Bay. So, but all eyes will be on second-year quarterback Michael Penix after the Falcons significantly moved Penix ahead of Kirk Cousins, and Cousins now being the highest paid backup, in the league. But rightly so, and it's the right decision. So, but we still, even if Penix is not able to go, all right, for whatever reason, we are still in the hunt. We're not without loss. Let's put it like that. But the Falcons are looking to leverage their formidable offensive weapons, including Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts to be tops in the league, right? So, but the defense will be led by Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, and now a host of rookies that are destined to make a name for themselves in the upcoming season. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are aiming to continue their dominance in the NFC South, having won 4 consecutive division titles, led by veteran quarterback Baker Mayfield. The offense remains a potent force with Pro Bowl wide receiver Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I don't think Chris is going to play this game, but the Bucs will certainly be hurting without him. They need Chris, and he's been a solid piece for years, just like Mike Evans. So, but the Bucs also have a new weapon in rookie Emeka Uboka. If I'm not saying his name right, guys, I'm so sorry. But he's expected to have a significant role from day one. On defense, the core of the defense, Levante David, Vita Vea, and Anton Winfield Jr. will be crucial for holding off Atlanta's dynamic attack. And I left off one other name. Hassan Reddick is also a part of that defense. I'm not sure if he's going to play. I've heard a story somewhere that he's been bit with a nagging, I wouldn't say an injury, but something that's keeping him out of practice. But anyway, we're not going to gear up for that, right? We're going to gear up. Atlanta should gear up and practice as if though Tampa Bay is at full force, right? And that's what it's all about. If he's there, okay. If he's not, so be it. We play on, right? But we're going to talk about the key player analytics and the matchups across the board for both teams. And but first, we're going to dive into the Falcons offense versus the Bucs defense. This is the ultimate test for Michael Penix Jr. He'll face a fierce Buccaneers pass rush led by Hassan Reddick and a disciplined secondary featuring Anton Winfield Jr. Penix's ability to handle pressure and make smart decisions against a Experienced defense will be key to the Atlanta success. Unfortunately, the Falcons will have to find that success with a patched up offensive line that took a massive blow with a leg injury to offensive tackle Caleb McGarry, as well as his backup, Storm Norton. And even the backup to the backup has been put on IR. Wheatley, he's on IR. This means that Elijah Wilkinson, a veteran who has played various positions but hasn't been a full-time right tackle since 2021, will be stepping in. This is a major concern, guys. In my book, you know, Tyrone Wheatley, he was about as solid as they can get. Elijah Wilkinson is not new to the Falcons offense. He has been here before and also played on the practice squad. So he's not new. He just, like I said, haven't been a full-time guy. The Buccaneers defense is no joke. And their defensive line will be looking to exploit that weakness for sure. But the Falcons coaches will need to have a solid strategy in place, maybe using a tight end or a running back to help chip and double team on that right side to protect Penix. But we also grabbed Michael. Y'all help me out here. Michael, the guy we got from the offensive tackle that we got from Seattle. Don't know if he'll see any time, but he will. I think he'll be in uniform, though. I haven't looked at the list, but I think he'll be in uniform. And he did a phenomenal job against us when he came here to see Atlanta and kept Matthew Judon at bay. So it's not like he's not new to, to talent. But anyway, Bijan Robinson, his versatility as a runner and receiver is going to make him a constant threat. He'll be challenging a Bucs run defense anchored by Vita Vea, Levante David. Last season, the Bucs defense was stout against the run, allowing just 92.5 yards of game, rushing yards per game. Robinson will need to be at his best to break through. But let's not forget, we also have Tyler Algier and Nathan Carter to help wear down that front seven. But Drake London, he comes in the picture at 6'4", a matchup nightmare for anybody. He'll likely be overshadowed by Jamel Dean, a physical cornerback. London's size and ability to contest catches will be critical in the red zone and on third downs. We saw the game last year, guys, how potent Darnell Mooney. Well, yeah, him too. Darnell Mooney and Drake London. What they did to the Bucs last year. Both had phenomenal games. Both times. Well, Drake London's second game wasn't all, what it cooked up to be, but still he was a force to be reckoned with because he did, have a couple of key blocks in there that sprung Darnell Mooney. So I expect that to keep continue during this matchup. So let's talk about the analytics of this matchup. The Buccaneers defense in 2024 ranked high in several key metrics, including opponent passer ratings and sacks. The Bucs gave up an average of 20.769 points per game. For the Falcons, a successful day on offense would mean controlling the pace and winning the turnover battle against a defense that had a turnover differential of plus 10 in 2004. God, that is phenomenal. When your defense can get into double digit in a turnover differential, that is phenomenal. You can't ask for it better, right? But Baker, now for the Buccaneers offense versus our defense. Baker Mayfield is coming off another impressive season where he threw for 43 touchdowns and led an offense that averaged 30 points per game. He'll face a Falcons defense that ranked in the lower half of the league in 2024, giving up 27 points per game. His chemistry with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, like I said earlier, would be crucial, particularly against Falcons cornerback A.J. Terrell. And look for them to test that too, to see if AJ is that lockdown corner that everybody suggests that he is. Now, although the Falcons defense did rank in the bottom half of the league this year, last season, this is a totally different defense. So don't look for Atlanta to be down the bottom this year, especially with Jeff Albrecht being now the defensive coordinator. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I predict that Atlanta's defense will be top 10. The offense will be top 5. So it's time for Atlanta to start for their money that they're putting into these players to start working for them. Now we're going to talk about Mike Evans, the perennial Pro Bowler. He's a constant deep threat weapon. He's also another year older too. So, but AJ Terrell is one of the league's top corners, and their one-on-one battle will be a marquee matchup. I just don't know if AJ Terrell will be on Mike Evans. I hope he will be, because it's time for AJ Terrell to showcase his talent too. If he's that lockdown guy, to show the reason why he's being labeled that lockdown guy. And what better receiver to put him on than Mike Evans? But Evans' ability to get open on intermediate and deep routes would dictate the success of the Buccaneers passing game. I'm hoping that AJ Terrell find a way to not necessarily stop Mike Evans, but limit Mike Evans. Let Mike Evans beat us in another way besides racking up 100+ yards and receiving, right? But like I said, Tampa Bay will be without Chris Godwin. I think they'll be without him. And they definitely need him. Ibika, I don't know. I just haven't seen nothing in him this preseason to suggest that he'll be that much of a factor. Not just because he's a rookie, we can't go in underestimating him, right? But Rashad White and Bucky Irving, they're running backs. The Buccaneers backfield is a two-headed monster, while the 2024 stats for the Buccaneers running game were not as stellar as the passing game at 98.3 rushing yards per game. Their ability to catch passes out of the backfield is, though, a major asset for them. The Falcons defense struggled against the run in 2024, allowing 131 rushing yards per game. So expect the Buccaneers to try and establish the run game early. I hope that this front seven that we have now is just a little too fast and live up to the expectations of their tackling ability and improved tackling ability. But while the offense has some injury concerns, the defense is ready to show off its new talent. The Falcons used their early draft picks on defensive playmakers, and it's time for them to shine. Jalen Walker, this guy is a Georgia boy who's ready to make a name for himself in the pros. He had 60 tackles and 6.5 sacks in his final collegiate season. The Falcons' defensive strategy will be using his versatility to confuse the Buccaneers' offense. Expect to see him lined up as a blitzing linebacker one play and dropping back into coverage on the next. All the while, keeping an eye on Baker Mayfield's running ability. You know, quiet as kept. You have to respect that. Baker Mayfield is not a Michael Vick, or he's not a Lamar Jackson, but he can hurt you with his legs. But Jalen Walker's speed and motor will be a problem for Baker Mayfield. And that will be the confusing factor for Baker Mayfield, because his last resort is not looking for that third wide receiver read, but to more often than enough take off running to try to hurt to pick up extra yardage. The other player that's looking to make a name for himself, James Pierce Jr. He's another first-round pick who brings pure pass rushing juice. He had 7.5 sacks and 13 tackles for loss in 2024. He and Walker give the Falcons a young, formidable pass rushing duo. The coaching strategy will likely involve having both of them on the field at the same time to create one-on-one matchups that they can win. The plus side to this is Jeff Albrecht does not run a typical 3-4 or a 4-3 defense. So look for both Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. To line up in several different packages, not just one or two, but several. The other guy that I'm looking for, and that's been named a starter, Billy Bowman Jr. I'm looking for this guy to play that strong safety / linebacker, because he did look like a linebacker in a couple of the preseason games. But look for this guy to be the playmaker in the secondary. His final season, he had 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. He's a ball hawk who will be tasked with patrolling the middle of the field and stopping these big plays that we fall victim to more often than enough. The Falcons defense will be counting on him to come up with a key turnover, if not key stops along the way. The analytics of that matchup of the Buccaneers offense against our defense, look for the Falcons defense in 2024, but to make totally different totally different aspirations as far as stopping the run game. But we were suspect to say the least. We allowed 364 total yards per game last season. They had a turnover differential over -6, which is not good at all. It's downright poor, to be honest with you. The Buccaneers offense with this 2024 had 405 yard total rushing yard, not totally rushing yard, total yards per game. And they are well equipped to exploit all of our weaknesses. So look for them to test us early, trying everything that they can. If one window is closed for them, look for them to try another. The run game, passing game, the passes underneath. But look for our fast defense, the speed of our defense to come to action quick. So along with our star rookies, the veterans will have to dig in. Our veterans will have to dig in and come up with plays to help the offense. But my prediction, guys, the Buccaneers, however, are a well-oiled machine on both sides of the ball. Their offense is proven and their defense is opportunistic and disciplined. While the energy around Michael Penix Jr. is palatable, the veteran experience and home field advantage of the Buccaneers are likely to be deciding factors. Baker Mayfield's command of the offense and the playmaking ability of the Buccaneers defense in critical moments truly give them an edge. But listen, I know what you're thinking. The Bucs have been kings of the NFC South, and the Falcons have a new quarterback and a banged-up offensive line. But this is where the coaching staff and the new defensive talent make all the difference. The Falcons' offensive strategy, despite the injuries, will be able to get the job done. They'll use a heavy dose of Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and quite possibly rookie standout Nathan Carter, who had a phenomenal preseason, to control the clock and wear down the Bucs front seven. Penix will make smart low-risk throws, and when he needs to, he'll find his favorite target, Drake London, who had a career year in 2024 with 100 receptions and 1,271 yards. And also look for Darnell Mooney. I look for him to be back this first game. I think they said he was a game time decision, so I'm thinking he will be in uniform. I don't see Darnell being the competitor that he is, unless the coaches try to save him from himself, right? And sometimes you have to do that. But I don't see Darnell Mooney, who had a phenomenal game. I think I'll cover that here in a little bit. But both of his games were outstanding against the Bucs last year in their sweep. But on defense, the energy and talent from the rookies will be infectious. Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. will get just enough pressure on Mayfield to disrupt his rhythm. Billy Bowman Jr. will be the one make the game-sealing play, and I'm calling it now. A late-game interception by Bowman will give the Falcons the win. But Falcon fans, let's take a quick trip back to last season and remember a couple of the sweet victories. The 2024 season was a roller coaster, but one thing for sure, one thing we can all agree on, is that the Falcons owned the Buccaneers. The first victory was a thrilling 36-30 overtime win at home. It was a true offensive showcase with Kirk Cousins throwing for a career of 509 yards. Drake London had a huge game, catching 12 passes for 154 yards and a touchdown. Darnell Mooney also a major impact with 9 receptions for 105 yards. Guys, that was like I said, that was a phenomenal game for both of them. I'm not looking for Michael Penix to throw for 509 yards. My prediction, he'll throw just over 300, maybe just a little bit more. If he does anything outside of that guy, that's a real good game for him. First game, and put it like that. Not saying that he can't surpass more. If he does, hey, we win the game for sure. The second game that we had against Tampa Bay last season, a 31-26 win in Tampa. It was just as intense. While the yardage wasn't as high, the efficiency was key. Drake London contributed for 4 catches for 34 yards, and Darnell Mooney had a big game with 4 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. The sweep was a huge momentum boost for the team and a true highlight of the 2024 season. So it is possible, guys, that we can go into Tampa Bay and in their hometown and pull out a win. It's nothing that's impossible for our Falcons. Remember, they doubted us when we went up to Philadelphia and pulled out a win in arguably the most hostile environment in the NFL. So to say that we can't do it to Tampa Bay is an understatement. But my final score, guys, my prediction, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24, Atlanta 27. The Falcons win a close, high-scoring affair with a late defensive stand securing the victory, or by the leg of a long field goal by Younghoe Koo to seal the victory for Atlanta. But guys, there you have it. My breakdown of the 2025 Week 1 Atlanta Falcons versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup preview and predictions. But guys, fellow Fandemics, how are you guys feeling about this prediction? Are you optimistic as I am? But drop your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. How are you feeling about this Week 1 matchup? Again, guys, as always, thank you for watching, supporting this channel. And don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, hit the notification bell. And until next time, Falcon family, always continue to rise up. All right, Fandemic family, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing your passion for our Atlanta Falcons with us. Your energy and support are what make this community truly special. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a 2 thumbs up. Leave a comment below with your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exciting content. And seriously, don't forget to hit that notification bell right next to that subscribe button so that you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos about our beloved Dirty Birds. And as always, continue to rise up, and we'll see you in the Super Bowl.